Good morning, everybody. Come on in here, pull you up a seat around the table. Welcome to a Southern Granny. I'm Patty, and I am so glad you're here. Can I get you a cup of coffee? Something cold to drink? My papa used to say when people walked into the house, "Have you ate yet?" So I'm going to ask you, have you ate yet? Can we cook you up something fine to eat? All right. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have this little chit chat today. First of all, I cannot thank you enough for the support and the love thrown my way. It has made this granny's heart feel fabulous. Thank you. You're all the best. And you know, when I say I love you, I mean it from every bit of my heart. I have had someone tell me that they're going to cook that carne gusada. And I begged them, please, to do so. And we want a photo and we want an honest to goodness taste test. We want to know what they think of this. I have had a friend who no longer lives in our town tell me that it meant so much to her to have a little taste of home when she's feeling homesick. Girl, we miss you and we love you. I got a video coming straight for you, honey. We're going to help you to have a little bit of home in your new home. We love you. I had the funniest comment from one of my daughters in laws, and she says, Mr. Rogers meets Bob Ross of Cooking Grannies. I loved it. I laughed so hard, y'all. So, if y'all have got a comparison, if y'all want to tell me what you think about these videos, I would love to hear it. Those comments down there, they're for you. And I would love to be able to have a chit chat, a back and forth. I'd like to get to know who some of y'all are while y'all are getting to know who I am. So, most of the time, I'm going to tell you, Granny knows what she's doing. And sometimes I'm going to tell you, Granny don't know what she's doing. When I don't, I usually call that Mamacita Surprise. And my boys grown and they just know it's going to be some crazy thing that I come up with. Sometimes we like it. Most of the time we don't. And we don't repeat that mistake again. So there might be a few people that were born with the gift and talent of cooking, and Lord, I've met them and I've eaten some of their food. It has been fabulous. But I take the hard path for everything, y'all. I don't do it easy. Please don't take after me on that. Take it easy. Learn from someone else and don't just keep banging your head against the wall. But when I first got married, I really was not a cook. I served raw hamburgers to my first dinner guests. And I was so excited one day to make homemade cookies, chocolate chip cookies for my new husband. But Lord of mercy, those things were so thin and runny, and I was scraping them off the pan. And I finally had to let my husband know about this surprise because I was confuddled. So I asked him, honey, why are my cookies not setting up? And he said, well, baby, did you put any flour in it? And I said, well, of course I did. 2/4 cups, just like the package said. He started laughing and said, well, honey, if they wanted you to put 2/4 cups of flour, they might have phrased it as half a cup. But since it's 2 1/4 beside it, you might have needed 2 1/4 cups of flour. So that first batch went in the trash. I tried again and I learned I can make some cookies, y'all. I was nervous and I was timid and I didn't know how to start my cooking process. I tried my heart out, wouldn't let my husband help me, who had cooking experience, because it was a wife's place to cook for her man. My man just wanted some good food, and he didn't matter. It didn't matter to him whether he cooked it or I did. He was hungry. So, and once I got them boys started coming, they let me know in no uncertain terms they wanted food. So I was afraid to try new things, and it took me a long time to work up my courage. I am here to help you to not be like that. I want you to know that if it's a flop and it's a mess, don't you worry about it. You're learning and growing little by little is how we learn. And the more we practice, the more progress we make. So today, I'm going to throw y'all right into it. We are going to work with yeast. We're going to make homemade ham and cheese hot pockets today. And I want you to know this is just the beginning of your hot pocket adventure. Your calzones, whatever you want to call them, hand pies, it doesn't matter. The fact is, we're going to make ham and cheese hot pockets. But you can throw anything inside of there and make it your own. If you like pizza, throw in some pepperonis and whatever else you like in there and some cheese. If you want to eat healthier, add some veggies in there. Mix those things up. It will be so good. Taco Tuesday, needing a little refresher? Make you some taco hand pies. Anything. Sky's the limit, baby. Sky is the limit. It's only up to your imagination. If you don't want to take the time to make individual hot pockets, you don't have to. You can take that same dough and you can make a stromboli. And that's coming up in another video. I will make a cheap and easy and delicious stromboli that the whole family will enjoy. That's another video. Today, this same dough we're making, you could make little pizzas out of them. It's however you want to shape it and however you want to use it. But I'm going to show you how easy it is to work with yeast. And it's not going to take you 10 years like it did me to get in that kitchen and start making some good, yummy, fun stuff. So we're going to get started. I'm going to put your description. Now I'm going to put the recipe, all your ingredients, everything you're going to need down into the description. And you're going to walk beside me step by step as we're putting these together. And you're going to see it's only as hard as you make it to be. And that there are so many shortcuts and easy ways to get good homemade food at your house. And the way these prices are skyrocketing right now, honey, if I'm going to spend $15 on a piece of ham to feed my family, I'm going to get as much out of that as I can get. And I suspect you might want to as well. So there ain't going to be no waste here. We're going to use up everything we've got. And we're going to make stuff that doesn't cause me to get out of the house and go to a restaurant to order. Eat it cold. Have it not be good. I'm going to eat it hot and fresh in my kitchen. And I know I like it. And I hope you will too. Anytime we're doing these videos, I want your interaction and your participation. Please like, subscribe, share with everybody. That is how you're going to help this channel grow. And this is our channel. You are at Granny's table with me today. And anytime you turn that little video on, we're together in this. I'm here to help you, and I'm here to have fun with you. And I am so glad you're here. And I thank you, thank you, thank you for the love that you've shown this granny. So we are going to get our ingredients together, and we are going to start our ham and cheese hot pockets. Okay, my beauties, we are here. Normally, I have a KitchenAid mixer, stand mixer that I use. Her name is Betty Jean. She's the workhorse of my kitchen, and I love her. But this time, for those of you that don't have a stand mixer, I'm going to show you how I used to do it by hand. Not a problem, but let me tell you, I prefer Miss Betty Jean to do the work for me. So what we're going to do first is get our water. And we have a 1 1/3 cup of just warm water. It's about 110 degrees. Usually how you would make a baby's bottle, the temperature of that, or, a lukewarm bath, but 110 if you're, picky about it. And then we are going to add a standard package of yeast. I buy mine in the jar, But if you just get a package of yeast from the store, it's going to be 2¼ teaspoons. And that's what we have here. And we're going to sprinkle our yeast right on top. And I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes. And that is to get our yeast active and alive. It's going to foam up and let us know it's ready to work with us. If it does not foam up, you may have a bad batch of yeast. So just try again with fresh yeast. You can already see it's starting to foam. We're going to give it 5 minutes to rest, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, my lovelies, we are going to cover this in saran wrap and we are going to stick this in the oven for about an hour until it doubles in size. I had recorded this previously, uh, but I forgot to turn on my microphone, so it was a voiceless recording. And it has risen a little bit, but it's still not where we want it to be. So I'm going to stick it right back in my oven that just has the light on and let it continue to rise. And I'll bring you back as soon as it is where we want it to be. It should be doubled in size at least. You're not going to have to guess if our dough rose. I think you could see that we got a pretty decent rise out of this. So we're going to punch it down. Some of y'all can get crazy if you want to. If you need to, take out some steam, you can go ahead and punch it down. I like to gently just kind of deflate it with my fingers. I just kind of pull it up from the edges of the bowl. And then I put my hand underneath and I just plop it right down on my wooden board. Okay. Now, I'm going to just give this a little roll. Make sure it's still like I want it to. No big deal. Not a lot of stuff. And then I'm going to try to push this down into a triangle. If it sticks to your board or your table, add a little more flour. But the oil in it should help it to knot. And, apparently I'm not good with shapes because they come out all kinds of different ways. But practice, practice, practice. I'm going to keep going because it tastes good, whatever it looks like. All right, now we want to divide this up into 8 equal pieces. So I just go on and cut it in half and in half. That gives me 4. And then I cut those 4 in half. It gives me 8. If you don't have this handy dandy little tool, don't worry about it. You can use a butter knife or a regular knife. You can just tear it with your hands if you want to. It worked. It worked. We get our pieces just like we need to. Okay? That is our 8 pieces. And I'm going to just set these little balls that I'm not using into this bowl we just took it out of. Yeah, they'll stick together if you leave them in there any length of time. But they've got their shape, so you'll be able to separate them out. And then what we want to do is flatten this out. You can use a rolling pin. I'm just using my hands. About 4 by 6 inch pieces. So that's about a 3. And you can see that sticking to my board a little bit. So I'm going to just add a tiny bit of flour. And I'm going to just try to measure out sideways about 4 inches. I'm only doing this for you lovelies because whenever I'm just whipping through and making it fast, when it looks right, that's when I start feeling it, okay? So, we got a 4-ish by 6-ish piece of dough. That is the beginnings of our Hot Pocket. We're going to add, I have taken just a single piece of processed cheese, whichever kind you like, and I've broken it in half. I like to put 1 piece on the bottom, and then I get some ham and put it right on top of that. Just a few. We don't want it popping out the sides. And then I will cover it back with that other piece of cheese. Ta-da! We have a cheese sandwich. Fancy cheese sandwich. Fold it in half. Kind of pinch your edges together. And then How many of y'all remember your mama's making fried pies? She always took her little fork and she just mashed them edges together. There is no other design like somebody's mama giving them homemade goodness and taking the time to make the little fork marks. Here's how we got it all set up. It is sealed and completed. And we are going to lay this onto a cookie sheet that has either been sprayed with cooking spray, greased with oil of some kind, or I love having parchment paper. Makes cleanup easy and it helps it to not stick. And we just lay that on there and we work with the next one. So I am going to get all these put together and I will bring you back whenever we are ready to move on. At this point, if you want to make a stromboli instead of making individual pies, you would not separate your dough out. You would keep it all in one piece and you would just roll it out or press it out into one long rectangle. You would put all of your ingredients in the middle of that, pile them in, and then grab your edges, lifting them up to meet on top. Pinch those together, make sure it's good and sealed, and make sure that the side pieces are sealed as well. And cut slits in them. Do the egg wash that we are going to do later in this video and cook it the same way you would want to cook the Hot Pockets. If you decide halfway through making this you just rather have a pizza, you can take this pizza dough. That's my guard dog Daisy. She is protecting me, I guess. So you could take this dough and you could press it out into a round and put it in a cast iron skillet or on a pizza pan and throw your toppings on whatever you want on top and you cook that like a pizza. But with the first one we're doing, it's going to be these Hot Pockets. As you can see, I am still putting them together and working them. It was not stretching like I wanted it to whenever I had it on the wooden cutting board. So instead, I have moved over to my countertop where it is working much more to my liking. Anyhow, there's many ways that we can do this depending on your taste or even your time. You can also refrigerate these. So I am not going to be instantly ready to cook my Hot Pockets. I'm not ready to cook these as soon as I finish them today. So instead of letting them have their second rise in the pan, in the oven, or out under some light, once I get these put together, we are going to put them in the refrigerator and let them set until we are ready to use them. See how this dough has kind of swelled up and stuck together? It still has the markings where we made the balls out of them though. So there are many ways to do this and we are going to go over each and every one of them at some point in our journey. And you can decide which way you like to do it best. Let me know down in the comments. We have got these all put together and they have risen a little more than I would care for, but I got a call from a special person. Shout out to Samantha. Love you. Thank you for helping me to make our ham and cheese Hot Pockets. So they've risen a little more. At this point, I am a little early for supper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover mine so they don't dry out. Then I'm going to stick them in the refrigerator until I am ready to heat them up and feed these Holly boys. If you want to make them right now, they are ready to rock and roll. You will want to put an egg wash on top, and I will come back and show you how to do that as I do it too. And then you want to put some cuts in here and let it breathe. That cheese is going to ooze out, and some of it's going to get a little dark, and it's so tasty. And so you brush your egg wash, you cut your vents, and you stick it into a preheated 400-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes or until golden brown. You can actually refrigerate these, which is what I'm going to do, for up to 1 day before baking. You can also freeze these after you bake them completely and allow them to cool down completely. Wrap them individually and put them in your freezer. When you're ready to take them out, you cook them from a frozen state. Bake them at 350 degrees for 20 minutes, or you can microwave them for 1 to 2 minutes. All of these instructions will be down below in the description, and we will come back when we're ready to coat these and cut them and get them in that oven. For those of you like me that do not enjoy doing dishes, I want you to take a look at this. We are going to feed 8 people's worth of food, and this is the complete and total amount of dishes that we have made. Don't you love those extra bonuses? There's a couple boys here ready for our taste test.
Yeah.
Ham and cheese hot pockets. Get you some of that, fellas. Careful of that cheese, it's hot.
Thank you, Gabby.
I get cheese paper too.
That's just like one of those fast food places we know. All right. That looks good, y'all.
Yum, yum.
Yeah.
Get you a taste of that.
A little hot to eat right now, right out of the oven. So good. Thank you, honey.
Yes, these are
See
good.
how pretty that is.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy your dinner.
Will do.
Well, everybody's home and getting ready to eat, so I've set our hot pockets out of the refrigerator. I've just cracked 1 egg in here and added just a touch of water, scrambled, mixed it up. And this is our egg wash. So I've got a little brush, and I'm going to just paint the tops of these things, the sides, all the seals. You want to make sure and get a good coating, because that is what's going to make this a pretty brown color, a golden brown. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue with the rest of these, and I'll bring you back when we're ready for the next step. Egg washed up. Now what we're going to do is just cut a few little vent holes in here. I like to cut a long one in the middle and 2 smaller ones on the side. You can make hearts and flowers and letters and anything else you want to do. It just needs to vent, because nobody wants cheese to explode all up in their oven. We're trying to make life easier, not make more work for ourselves. So just give it a nice little cut. Make those vent holes, and it's ready to go in the oven. 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes until they are golden brown. See you when they come out. Oh, look at that yummy goodness. I wish you could smell this fresh baked bread. Well, if you make it, I guess you will. I hope you do make it. Hope you take a picture, and I hope you share your impression and your thoughts about this. Let's get it to the table. Look there, honeys. This is your seat at the table. You got a nice ham and cheese hot pocket. All right, Holly boys. Who's ready to give me a taste test?
Too hot to eat.
Well, that's cooled off enough that we can try our taste tests.
I like to add some mustard to mine. Sometimes I do the normal, sometimes I do the spicy if I want a little extra flavor. So I'll try some of that on mine tonight.
Rob, did that cool enough for you to eat, baby?
Yeah,
How is it?
it's good.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome. All right, guys, we have finished our ham and cheese hot pockets, and you can see the results right here. So remember, y'all come on back, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every time I drop a video. And remember, there's always a seat at Granny's table.